Started making some money the other day, just graduated. This nice plump job came, an audit firm of the big four, and you're given six figures right off from graduation. Things are rosy, things are beautiful. In fact, you're already having fantasies of the car that you will drive, the estate that you will live, the things that you will buy. You have no financial knowledge. You are on the way to poverty. Poverty dressed in fancy suits, driving a nice car. There are many people out there who look the part but are far from it. People who look like they have money but they have nothing. People who have zero negative cash flow at the end of the month. In fact, they are losing more money than they are making every month. You make 100,000 shillings every month, but you're paying bills of 110,000 shillings. You are growing on negative equity. And the problem with this is 20% of this money that you're spending is in money that you ought not spend money on. Why are you paying interest on things simply because you are a little bit impatient? Who told you that recent graduates need to drive cars? Who told you? Who told you recent graduates need to live in a fancy place? In fact, who told you that you need to have your own toilet? If you have nothing in the way of savings in an emergency fund, do not even think about having your own toilets and extra bedrooms. Who are you hosting as a single person, having double a 3-bedroom house in a palatial neighborhood? Who are you trying to impress? My friends, the chickens will come to roost, and you will find that you spend 6 years of your life chasing shadows. There's nothing as problematic as chasing shadows. You are looking at mirages of what your life ought to be, and you're starting to do things without having the plan. Have a plan, my friends. You make your first money, have a plan. What do you need to be? And the plan should include this. How are you going to secure your finances? Because if no one has told you, if you are still fantasizing that employers in this day and age will employ you for 20, 50 years without bringing any hiccups, then my friend, probably you're working for the government or you're fantasizing about yourself. You are only as relevant, you are only as important to that organization as your relevance is to them. They will choose one day to tell you go, and you will go. And if you have nothing in the way of funding in terms of an emergency fund, you will go to your mother's house the following month. You will not be able to pay your rent, you will not be able to pay your expenses. The first thing that you do in your financial plan as a recent graduate, as a person who has recently gotten a job, is have an emergency fund. What? 6 months of your expenses. 6 months of your expenses. That is the first thing that you do. Take that money. Don't put it under your carpet. Don't put it under your bed. Put it in an investment that you can be able to liquidate within 3 working days. Some money that you can put so that it is not in your vicinity. You do not feel like you are rich, and it is some security in terms of your head. That is the first thing that you do. This allows you to have the confidence, should something happen, that you have 6 months that you can be able to look for another job. You have 6 months that you can be able to take care of your expenses, and you think about the next step. A lot of people find themselves in problematic issues and mental challenges simply because a job has come up to an end and you have nothing in the way of savings. You have nothing in the way of paying for your expenses. Shame comes upon you, depression comes upon you. To avoid all these things, before you start getting excited about what possible car you could drive, what possible estate you could live, an emergency fund is the first thing that you do. Then the second thing that you attack, this is your plan of attack. We are on the pathway to fight poverty and financial distress across the generations. So the second thing that you do is that you're going to invest a certain amount of money that is equivalent to a whole year's of income. A whole year's of income is what you're going to put into some investment that is somehow short-term, medium-time, that you can be able to liquidate in 3 months. And this is where I tell you to attack the stock market. You're a recent graduate. The stock market will allow you to make consistently, that it has been seen over time, that if you invest long enough in the stock market, even with dips and ups and downs, if you do a cost averaging, that is, you put money, whether it is going up, it is going down, you're still investing, going. If you have a diversified portfolio and invest long enough, you will at least be able to get 7% or so per annum. And you will be able to get some dividends should you be planning to be able to get these things. So attack a whole years of your income, put it into a stock market account. Put it there, let it grow, and you are starting to make money. The third level of attack is in physical comfort. Should you not have a house, should you not have an income, at least you should be able to have a place where you can put a shack that you can be able to have some sort of subsistence. You can grow some food, you can have some house, you can have something that would allow you not to be dependent on any person. So buy a piece of land. That is the third level of attack. I'm giving you levels of attack to fight financial poverty. Before you think about a big car, before you think about a fancy house, buy a big chunk of land, 10 acres going forward. These 10 acres going forward, buy them. It doesn't have to be a fancy place. In fact, it could be somewhere in the bush, somewhere far away. Cheap land, 300,000 per acre piece of land, 20,000 per acre piece of land, 10,000 per something in the way of an investment in land of 10 acres going up. However you choose, whatever you buy, it is upon you. But 10 acres, and then plant trees. The cheaper the land, the better. Because the cheaper the land, the more you have money to be able to do other things. And because it is not your final land, doesn't mean that you will retire there, doesn't mean that you will always live there. It just means that you will have an opportunity, should the worst come, to be able to do something different. So plant trees on that land. For the 10 acres that you have, if you're able to plant some trees, at least 200 trees, 300 trees, 400 trees per acre on the piece of land. Let us even say 200 trees per acre will actually mature into maturity. So if you're going to get 5,000, which is firewood prices for a whole tree after 10 years, 5,000, and you have 200 trees per acre. So 5,000 multiplied by 200, what are we talking about? We are talking about at least a good chunk of money in the 10 years that you're going to put this amount of money. So 5,000 multiplied by 200. So you're going to have 10,000, 100,000, 1 million per acre from the money that you're going to make from your trees for the 10 years. So if you have 10 acres, you have 10 million shillings to come after 10 years. So why after 10 years? After 10 years, you'll probably be married. Your children will now start going to high school. They will start looking at opportunities of how they can be able to advance their education. Your expenses will be going up. And this trees is your level of attack for that increased income as you go. You thought diapers were expensive. Think about high school, university education. That is where the finances go. My friends, you have done an attack. Before you even start, you've already done a level of attack. So you have bought a piece of land, you have grown the trees, they are growing. You are not needing to put any additional effort. You don't have to employ somebody to do much work. It is already generating some money that will come in 10 years. So you have 10 million that will come in 10 years. That is your third level of attack. The fourth level of attack is once you have been able to attack this, then maybe you can buy some car. It doesn't have to be the fanciest car, but something that can take you from point A to point B. Now you can start to enjoy some few things because you have secured your 6 months of expenses. You have attacked the stock market with 1 year's value of your salary in investments, and you have some piece of land that is going to generate value in the next 10 years. In this case, you have already done 3 levels of attack that can allow you to have some rest for a period of time as you continuously improve on your portfolio of stock market that you're already investing in. If you have some additional salary, because salary sometimes goes up, now you start thinking like an old person. Sometimes thinking like an old person is not bad. What do old people think like? They always look at the most secure investments, the most long-term investments with the lowest risk. Now think about government bonds. Now buy some few government bonds here and there with cash flows staggered every single month, so that at least you're able to generate some value every single month. Now think about it. At 12%, 13%, 15% per annum, every 1 million that you have will be able to generate you at least 100,000 every single year. Now 100,000, if you bring it down to figures that we are talking about, that is 8,000 to 9,000 shillings every month. So you are earning back 8,000, 9,000 shillings every single month from your 1 million investment that you already put in the government bonds in Kenya currently. So you're already starting to earn some income from the investments that you're already making. Now you're starting to make some money. Now you start building your portfolio to be able to ensure that the basic survival amount that you can survive with can come from the passive income that you are generating. The third level of attack, and this at this point you have come out from financial safety. You're no longer depending on financial safety. Now you are starting to go into financial abundance. You are starting to get into financial abundance because you are now becoming less and less required to depend on just your salary. You can be able to at least be able to go on an extended leave, unpaid leave, because your incomes are also coming from the passive incomes that you are generating. So start level attacking this amount of money and putting it in government bonds. Put a significant amount of money. In fact, put the basic survival money that you need, your rent, your food. Let it be able to be catered from the government bond and the interest that you're getting from those bonds. So if your salary, if you're able to survive at 20,000, paying your rent and food, with your budget, survival. I'm saying survival, not thriving, survival. If 20,000 can meet your expenses, then you need to be able to invest 20 million in government bonds. So if you're able, 2 million in government bonds, 2 million in government bonds. So you put 2 million in government bonds to be able to at least, you've eaten, you've paid your rent, you are okay. You already have something that should your children come into university, you have something that you can be able to pay off, liquidate, and give them, and the land is still yours. You have now done 3 levels of attack. Now start building your portfolio, allocating it based on your level of risk and the current performance that you are seeing. Start buying things as you see, but build your portfolio to ensure that your government bonds are meeting all your living expenses. That is the goal. Your government bonds are meeting all your living expenses, because you want an assurity that you'll be able to earn a certain amount. Should rain or sunshine come, you will always get a certain amount of money. In fact, now increase the value from 20,000 to 40,000, because you're probably now getting married and you start having children. Increase it to 40,000. So 4 million going already in government bonds, assuring you around 40,000 at current rates every single month in interest that is coming to you. Now, think about it. You have 40,000 that is coming every single month. You are not a landlord. You are not chasing tenants. You are not pushing people. You are not going the legal way. Government is just paying you money. How comfortable is it to be able to meet your living expenses, food, shelter, and clothing from that money? And your salary now can be able to start attacking certain levels of poverty. Now you're starting to generate generational wealth. This is where our ultimate level of attack is. Just because you grow up in poverty, ensure that your children have something, a hand up, to be able to enable them to thrive in them further. If all that you struggled with when you were a child was whether I will eat, whether I will sleep, will we have landlord chasing us, will we have this, now you ensure that the struggles that your child is having is not those. Your child is now struggling with, what career can I be able to pursue to have fulfillment? What career can I be able to have to be able to generate and start my own business? Let your children have such struggles. The struggles that you had with meeting your expenses and eating and whether the landlord is coming, stop all this and allow your children to start at a higher level, because as they start at a higher level, you've already attacked poverty from the start. But a lot of people, as I started, will get that job, and the first thing they think is, let me look rich, not let me be rich. They want to get the house, get the big car. All this money is tied into things that do not make sense. And the worst thing is, the second, third month, they go and take an exorbitant loan, car loan, to have this expense. They go and furnish their house with loans. They go and buy suits and enjoy nice things with loans. They start entertaining friends, because remember, when you start looking the part, people will just come in. In fact, a rich man has so many friends, so they are going to flood in. But because you have not planned, you have no financial plan, you are not attacking your poverty, you are already on the way towards financial doom. If you do not follow the plan that we have, a level of attack. Do you have a level of attack to attack poverty? Do you have a level of attack to generate generational wealth? Do you have a level of attack on how you're going to improve your finances? How are you going to improve your children's lives beyond the struggles that you had in your childhood? Are you going to be the parent who is promising bicycles every single month if you become number one, and cannot be able to give such things. So these are the things that we are talking about, because when you follow these tips, when you have your own deep financial plan, when you will execute it like a surgeon, systematically and elaborately, then you are surely going to succeed in your financial journey. If you do not get anything from my videos, at least get this one, that you are supposed to have an attack of all the things that are going to bring you into poverty, find a way of avoiding them. If all the things that are going to take you into wealthness and creating value, then you pursue those things and you're able to generate value. If at least 10% of the people who watch this channel follow these tips, they are going to improve their lives significantly enough to be able to impact the generations that they have. Do not allow yourself to be a systematic failure. Just because other people do other things, don't just do them. Have your own financial plan of attacking poverty, generating wealth, and increasing in your value. Like this channel, leave a comment in the comment section showing your plan of attack and how you plan to achieve it. And always like this video, subscribe, and watch other videos. Thank you and enjoy your day.